everyone, my name is Just Design and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Breyerfest and this year's Breyerfest. I also want to go over some tips that I have since this is my third Breyerfest and my fourth time going to the Kentucky Horse Park and also Kentucky. I've been to Kentucky multiple times now. I'm dating long distance with someone who lives there, so I do have some suggestions for you as someone who has been to Kentucky multiple times. Also, I live in the Midwest myself. I'm here in Illinois, so if you want to support a small artist who lives here in Illinois, who is also disabled and interested in modeled horses, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. Today, we're going to be talking about Breyerfest. So if this is your first Breyerfest ever, welcome. You're going to have a great time, and I do have some suggestions for you that I think pretty much everyone goes over, but if you want some more things that maybe you didn't think about, then this is the video for you. It is Kentucky. It is hot. I know that everyone harshes over this multiple times, but it's true. It is hot in Kentucky. Please make sure that you are staying hydrated. Make sure you have appropriate clothing on, and make sure you know where the AC is. There's arenas in the Kentucky Horse Park that are air conditioned, and there are certain buildings that are air conditioned, but make sure that you're staying hydrated. Bring a water bottle and don't just bring one of these water bottles, bring one of these because you're gonna need it. There is a bunch of places in the Kentucky Horse Park that will sell you water and sell you electrolytes and sell you liquids, but make sure you bring your own because you'll be saving money in the long run. And also, you can get stickers at the Kentucky Horse Park. You can decorate your water bottle. It's a really fun activity for me, at least. I like having a big water bottle. I'm a potsy, so I have issues with my electrolytes, so having a huge water bottle like this helps tremendously. I also suggest putting hydration packets into your water to help with your electrolyte intake. You're going to be walking a lot. It is a huge park. It is not just one area that you're going to be staying the whole entire time, so make sure you are bringing good walking shoes. That's another thing that I really suggest. If you're going to be walking everywhere, I mean, it is a huge park and you're going to want to see everything, but it's impossible to see everything. It literally isn't. It's huge. It is huge, and there's so much stuff going on all of the time, and that's excluding the Clarion. That's just at the Kentucky Horse Park. Clarion is another beast, but we'll get into that in another tip. That I really suggest is having a fan. Having something to keep you cool. So I'm not just going with by myself, I'm going with friends, and I got all my friends one of these fans. They're still in the packaging. They're handheld fans that you can use at the Kentucky Horse Park to help cool yourself down. They have a place in there to where you can put essential oils in there to keep the bugs away from you, because there's going to be a bunch of bugs at the Kentucky Horse Park. There's horses, there's animals. The flies are horrible. I think that was one of the worst things about going to the Kentucky Horse Park, is the fact that the bugs don't like to leave you alone. Mosquitoes are really bad, so make sure you are putting like some sort of essential oil or some sort of bug protectant on you so that they will leave you alone. Another thing that you're gonna need for sure is sunscreen. If you are any way, shape, or form a pale person such as myself, you will burn. So make sure you're wearing sunscreen. So make sure you're protecting your skin, not even at the Kentucky Horse Park, but just in general, because it is vital to keeping your skin healthy. So make sure you're wearing sunscreen. I wear mine every single day. This is just a simple SPF 30. And it's a spray. I'm autistic and I have sensory issues, so I don't like the lotion, like I just don't like lotions in general, but sometimes stuff like this is really accessible for people such as myself who might have sensory issues, so I totally get that. And maybe you don't like the smell that sunscreen produces, but again, protect yourself, protect your skin. It's really important, and like I said, it's gonna be hot. Bring an umbrella. You never know what could happen. Last year I went to Breyerfest with my boyfriend and my friend Sarah and Charlie, and we all got drenched. We got drenched. It rained so bad last year. I don't know why, but Kentucky just has like this bipolar weather. The whole Midwest does. I know Illinois does really bad, but the humidity isn't that bad, but it does rain quite often, and so you never know what will happen. Make sure you bring an umbrella or a poncho or something of that sort, because you're gonna get wet if you don't bring one, and everyone will run to the nearest shelter that they can find so that they don't get rained on. But if you're out there with your umbrella, you can still enjoy Breyerfest with your umbrella. So make sure you're staying on top of your finances. Tell your bank ahead of time that you're going to be out of state, especially if you're going to be really out of state and not just a couple states away like me, but maybe you live all the way on the other side of the US or from another country and you're coming here for Breyerfest, and then you realize, oh my bank decided to flag my card and now I can't buy anything. So make sure you tell your bank ahead of time that you're going to be out of state and you are going to be buying models. Also, Breyer is based in another state outside of Kentucky, so you're getting purchases in Kentucky, but it's coming from their headquarters in different states, so it just flags as fraud, and banks don't like that. And you won't be able to buy anything if you don't have a card, because Breyerfest is cashless. Unless you're going to the Clarion. People occasionally will take cash at the Clarion. So make sure you're bringing cash, but keep it limited. You bring some sort of payment other than cash. And also make sure that you have enough cash, because Breyerfest is expensive. It is not cheap. It really isn't. And people who sell their bottles don't sell them for a cheap penny. Protect your finances and make sure when you're purchasing anything that you are being vigilant. Make sure people are not scamming you, because there are places in Breyerfest that people will scam you and take your credit card information. And oh my god, that would be the last thing I would want for you as a first time at Breyerfest, for people to come and take your money. Like, it hasn't happened to me, but I've seen people in Breyerfest posts complain about it, say that they got their card stolen. Like, it's awful. So make sure you're checking for skimmers. People put things onto their account. It's so bad.
Just to be 100% safe, I would join this group on Facebook. Again, this is not something that happens usually, but again, I want you guys to be safe when you're shopping and keep your information safe. Never give your card information to anyone that you think might be suspicious. There are security on campus of the Kentucky Horse Park. So just keep that in mind. If something seems weird or you get something stolen, go straight to security and they will help you. The mounted police are usually all over the park, so if you can find them and something strange happened, contact them.
And here's another suggestion I have, and this is just personal preference, but it is still something that I really suggest, is supporting small artists. There are people who make custom Breyer horses, and these people are talented, almost more talented than Breyer themselves. So if you're gonna buy Breyers at Breyerfest, buy something one of a kind. Buy something that only you will have for the rest of your life, and unless you sell it and make a bunch of money off of it. But the artists who make these Breyer horses are incredible, and I also do custom Breyer horses myself, I don't sell them just because I don't feel like I'm at the level of that I'd like to be, the level of experience some people do in the community. But this is one of the customs that I made. I also, yeah, I'm really proud of this one. I think I did pretty good, but again, I'm still learning, so haven't really sold any of my work, and I'm not really used to selling Breyers, but maybe I'll bring him to Breyerfest for sale. Going to Breyerfest, make sure you bring something home that you are really, really proud of and you are really excited to bring home. I suggest saving your money to the best of your ability. I know it's going to be really hard, especially when you go to the Clarion and you see how many plastic ponies are for sale. So many talented artists out there. Make sure that you are looking at their work. Even if you don't buy anything, it's really cool to just sit there and look at people's ideas and things that they're capable of doing. So yeah, go to the Artisan Gallery at the Clarion Hotel. You will not be disappointed. And that's my say-so on that. Next tip is make sure that you're going to the Clarion. The Clarion is so much fun. It's so much fun. Make sure you're going to the Clarion Hotel. You will see so many crazy model horses there that are like really expensive to something that's really cheap. So if you're kind of budgeting your money and you don't want to spend too much at the Breyerfest, say you went for an all access ticket and you get the special runs that you want, you know, that's great, but sometimes there's people who get general access and they still can get special runs, because if you go to the Clarion Hotel, people are selling both the celebration model and the special runs that come along with that. So you're guaranteed to get the horses that you want if you go to the Clarion.
Screenshot this if you're interested in playing Cards Against Humanity with me. I will be at the Clarion Hotel at 5 o'clock doing the Cards Against Humanity game with a bunch of other model horse enthusiasts. So if you're interested in making friends and having a good time, come on and join me.
From props for model horses to the actual models themselves, it's just a fun place. And that leads me to my next point: make friends. Aww. This is a vacation. This is supposed to be fun. I know for a lot of people they're selling stuff, but again, make sure you're communicating with people, because at the end of the day, we're all there for one thing, and that's horses. So usually if you find someone with a shared interest the same as you, you're able to start a conversation quite easily, and people are really sad nowadays. Unfortunately, with the way the world is going, we really need to find community in the places that we can. So I am autistic, so it's really difficult for me to make friends with people unless I have a shared interest with them, especially since neurodivergent people have a stronger sense of, you know, not knowing how to communicate. We're not as great with our words as some neurotypical people, so sometimes it's difficult to make friends. But if you go to Breyerfest, make sure you say hi to your favorite creators, and make sure you say hi to people you've never met before. Even if you bring home some really cool Breyer horses, it is nice to have someone to share it with. On my list is hotels, Lexington, travel in general. So make sure, and I'm saying this because it happened to me, make sure you have something to protect the models that you buy. They will break. It's just a fact. TSA is not gentle with your stuff. TSA does not care about your stuff. TSA is just trying to get through their life. So if you are flying, make sure you have pony pouches, make sure you have bubble wrap, make sure you have peanuts, whatever the case it may be. to save your model horses, even if it is just your t-shirt, wrapping them up in your t-shirt, something of that sort, so that they don't get scratches, so that they don't get broken, so that they don't have cracks. The list goes on and on. I bought this really nice gatepost statue at Keeneland, and unfortunately I let TSA in with this, and guess what? It broke. So the value of this has now gone down because it broke, and I'm really sad about it. It was something that I really thought was cool, and I also got this horseshoe too, and really excited about it. It gets broken. Oh, it's just like, it's like stabbed in the chest. So about TSA and you don't have enough space in your suitcase, you can ship models at the UPS station at Breyerfest. It's really expensive though, so make sure you have the funds to do it. But if you're worried about TSA, say you went to fly and you thought, I'm only gonna buy 5 models, and you ended up buying like 10 or 20 and you didn't realize it, and you like don't have any space in your suitcase, there is that option. So you do before you go to Breyerfest is clean out your camera roll. I know that if you have an iPhone, you're gonna get a full storage. It is just gonna get you so bad. Like, just ahead of time, make sure you're clearing out all. If you're like me and you like taking photos and you like taking videos, just clear out that whole entire storage settings with doing the following. Make sure you're deleting all of your recently deleted photos, because believe it or not, it takes up storage. And even if you're trying to delete those, get rid of them, they're not actually gone until you actually go in there and say, hey, I really don't want these, like, get rid of them. And then it'll do that for you. And also another thing that's going to take up storage in your phone is just random apps that maybe you don't use anymore. So just toss them to the wayside and get rid of them. It's going to help get rid of all that storage. That if you have really important photos that are important to you and you don't want to get rid of them, try doing all of these things before you delete all of your images and your videos and everything. Old text messages carry a bunch of storage, believe it or not. Even if people send you stuff, it's going back into your phone storage. So delete all of that stuff. Like, you don't need it anymore. It's already, you've already seen it. You already know what it is. Unless it's important, get rid of it. And like I said, just have fun. It's gonna be something that you'll never forget, and it's really a great place if you love horses. There's gonna be shows, there's gonna be workshops, there's gonna be places to paint plastic ponies, there's gonna be places to look at plastic ponies, and if you like real horses, you can go to the arena and meet them. You can go to the barns and meet the horses. Make sure you're wearing something that you don't mind getting snotted on if you go to the barns, though, because if you have like a Louis Vuitton bag or something like that, could get damaged. So make sure that whatever you bring, you know, you're okay with it getting broken, because sometimes it's so chaotic that things happen and you're not really thinking about it. Again, stay on alert at all times, especially in case your phone dies. Make sure you're bringing a phone charger. Make sure you're bringing something to charge all of your devices, because you're going to want to take pictures and you're going to want to use your phone for whatever. You know, maybe you may meet someone, you want to put your phone number in real quick or something like that. Make sure your phone is charged. Make sure your phone is charged. Make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you have the first aid kit. Make sure you have all of the things. Just make sure you're being safe. That's the main thing, because I don't want you guys to have a bad experience. You know, Breyerfest is a really fun thing, and a lot of people enjoy it. I enjoy it myself, but again, be observant and make sure you get a map, because it can get confusing. So at the Clarion is built very weird, very funky. The numbers are all over the place. So make sure you look at a map of the Kentucky Horse Park. Make sure you look at a map of the Clarion. And download the Breyerfest app. It'll tell you the schedule for everything that's going to happen, and you won't miss out on anything if you download the app. I downloaded the app this year, and I can already tell it's going to be super helpful. It gives you maps to everything already in the app, and also it gives you maps to the Clarion. So that's really helpful because you will get lost, and I don't want you to get lost, especially if you get lost without the people that you went with. That can happen, especially the Clarion where everybody's looking at things. So kind of stick together. If you're with someone, try to stick together with them. Try not to separate too much because it is really easy to get lost, which is also why I suggest that you keep your phone charged, because you gotta call, you know, whoever you came with and say, I'm lost. Alright, places in Kentucky I highly suggest that you visit. Number one place I suggest you visit if you're a horse fan is the Keeneland Racetrack. It is absolutely incredible and you will not be disappointed. It's not too far away from Lexington, the Kentucky Horse Park, so if you are interested, make sure you take a trip over there and go look at some of the horses. They're really cool. Also, along that train of thought, there are many farms who offer tours in the area, who let you come in and see the horses. You have some time to kill, that might be something you're interested in. Also, make sure to check out all of the cool restaurants here in Kentucky. The Donuts Tap House is right next to the Clarion Hotel. Oh my god, it's so good. I highly suggest that you get reservations, because if you try to go in there right when you get out of the Clarion because you're hungry and you hear that it's a good place, you're not gonna get a great experience if you've never been there. I have been with my boyfriend, just me and him, and it was a great date night. So I highly suggest that if you're looking for something to eat, that's a great spot. Some really good fast food that is native to Kentucky. So the Huddle House, Waffle House.
Chaos consumes me.
You didn't get it to work now, did you?
Gabby, we're leaving.
If you're not from that area and you're not able to get it, I really enjoy it. And also, I suggest, you know, Golden Corral, Cracker Barrel. So Cracker Barrel is also really good. It just gives you that same sort of feel of like, hey, we're in Kentucky, let's get some nice comfort food. And so if you don't have those down where you're at, or maybe you do and you just want somewhere to eat that's kind of good and not that expensive, that hotels. Let's talk about hotels. If you're not going this year and you're going next year, I highly recommend that you try to book ahead of time. It's really important that you find somewhere that you enjoy and it's not too expensive. I know sometimes people want to get luxury hotels, but in the long run, guys, you're only gonna be in that hotel for like maybe a couple hours, because you're gonna be at the horse park and doing all of the Clarion and the meet and greets and all of that stuff most of the time while you're at the park. So it really is inconvenient to pay like $200 or $300, I mean, unless you have the money for it, like $200 or $300 a night for a hotel if you're not really going to be there. So if you're going to be in Lexington another time, highly recommend that you try the Manchester or the Glow Hotel. They're really nice. But for Breyerfest, I highly recommend just getting something cheap. Just get something cheap that you can sleep in, that's gonna have a shower, a bed. That's all you need, trust me. And if you wanna stay at the Clarion Hotel, it needs to be booked like ahead of time, like really ahead of time. You cannot decide that you want to stay at the Clarion like a week before Breyerfest. You're not getting in. Honey, you are not getting in so quickly. So make sure you know what you want to do. Kentucky Castle is just outside of Breyerfest, so if after Breyerfest you decide to stay in Kentucky for a couple days, you can check out the actual castle. There is a literal castle in Kentucky and it is amazing. I went there for a night and it's gorgeous. I mean, if you could stay a night there, if you have the money for it, go for it. But like, again, they sell out very quickly. Not so quickly as part of all the other places that are in Lexington themselves, but if that is something, if you want an luxury hotel experience, that's where I would recommend. That's where I would say, yeah, take that money and try this experience, because the castle is gorgeous and I would love to stay a night in it, but I just personally don't have the money for that. You can't do everything at Breyerfest, okay? I know you're going to want to do all of the meet and greets and all of the things, especially at your first Breyerfest, but you're going to be exhausted and things are going to get a lot harder than you think it is. So make sure you plan ahead of time on what you want to do, what you want to see, who you want to meet. If you want to get autographs of certain models, make sure you're there on time. Make sure you're there ahead of time. You know, it's really helpful for you to get in line earlier than later, because being in lines are probably the worst part of Breyerfest. It's hot, nobody likes it, and also you get your first picks on things. It's really nice. Fun. Have fun. It is a vacation. It is something to enjoy. I know that sometimes things don't go your way and maybe you are hot and you're just exhausted because you're walking so much, or maybe, you know, you just had something embarrassing happen to you. Like, listen, we all get it. Everyone who's ever been to Breyerfest, we get it. It is hot. It is stressful sometimes, and most importantly, you can get hungry and dehydrated. So that's why I mentioned, make sure you're bringing snacks, make sure you're bringing drinks, make sure you're staying on top of it, good shoes. Make sure you bring a first aid kit, because if you fall down, you'll have something to make sure that you can clean the scrape or any of that sort of thing. So yeah, make sure you bring a good water bottle, good shoes, good clothing, normally a t-shirt, shorts, or jeans, or something of that sort that's gonna keep you feeling comfortable. Make sure you're wearing sunscreen. Make sure you have cashless cash. It's a cashless place, but also make sure you have normal cash. Sorry for the camera angle change. I realized I did not film an outro for this video, so thank you so much for watching. I hope I gave you enough tips. Again, I'm not an expert at Breyerfest. This is only my 3rd year, so I'm just kind of knowledgeable about Kentucky now that I've visited for quite a few times now. So I just want you guys to know what it's like, and I want everyone to be safe and have a good time. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment and like and subscribe. You can also look at my website, www.gabbyjd.com, and you can send me a message there. I would really appreciate it. And you can take a look at my drawings and some of my artwork. So if you guys are interested in a commission of anything, you can contact me and I will be more than happy to help you with that. And yeah, that's all my tips for Breyerfest, guys. Just it's self-care and it's important. So have a good time, guys. I know it's gonna be hot and maybe you'll get hungry or maybe you'll get tired or whatever. Just enjoy it while it lasts. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you.